A very warm welcome, everyone, to sunny Birmingham in the heart of the UK. Day 2 of the IBSA World Games, the blind women's football competition. We saw fireworks on day 1, some spectacular goals, great action throughout the course of the day, and let's hope for more on day 2. Group A action coming your way with Japan taking on Sweden, the much fancied Japanese, who beat England, the host nation, by 5-0. They were 3-0 up inside 6 minutes, put the game to bed very quickly, and today they face Sweden, who drew 1 apiece with Morocco yesterday. It means that Japan topped the group after the first round of matches. They've got 3 points. Sweden and Morocco have 1 apiece. England still to get off the mark. They play Morocco in the game after this one. Delighted to say that the sun is shining here in Birmingham. There's no rain, which we saw throughout the day on day 1, so conditions are pretty beautiful. It's a lovely crisp morning. It's going to be nice and breezy throughout the day, and we're very much looking forward to bringing you the coverage of today's games. I've got Dixie Dean, the former England blind football goalkeeper, alongside me. He's been involved in blind football for over 25 years. He's a qualified referee and an expert on such matters, so it's great to have you with us again today, Dixie. We really enjoyed yesterday, didn't we? And let's hope for more of this day.
Yeah, it was a great day, even though the weather was against us a bit yesterday. There's we saw some great goals. There was some good football being played, and the camaraderie amongst the players was great. No discipline issues at all. The referees handled the situations really well, and it was a thoroughly enjoyable day. So here's hoping for a little bit more today.
We'll go through the team shortly, but first it's time for the national anthems of Japan and Sweden.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Sweden.
So the national anthems of Japan and then Sweden. Here at the University of Birmingham Sports Campus. We're in Edgbaston, famous of course for its cricket. But today it's all about football. Same venue as was used for the hockey matches in the Paralympic Games of last year. A real sporting hub. The players, for the first time in a tournament, are enjoying the camaraderie of an athlete's village, which is just a walking distance from this campus. And everyone arrived this morning with big smiles on their faces, and everyone seems to be enjoying the atmosphere here at this tournament. It went really well on day one. Let's see what day two will bring. So let's go through the teams. Both sides making one or two alterations from the teams that played yesterday. Starting with Japan, who make a couple of alterations, one in goal actually. So Wachirina moves to the replacements bench, and number 23, Terabayashi Machiko, comes in. So she'll play in goal. The other change, the star turn really, is an option off the bench. Number 10, Kikushima Sora, scored a 6-minute hat-trick yesterday, so she's on the bench. And in comes number 16, Tanaka Ichika. So the full team: number 23, Terabayashi Machiko in goal. Number 14, Wagasuki Haraka. Number 8, Suzuki Rika. Number 7, Captain Takuchi Mako. And number 16 is Tanaka Ichika. The subs bench, sub-goalkeeper Wachirina. Number 5 is Kaga Miwako. Number 13, Shimatani Hana. And number 10, Kikushima Sora, who we look forward to seeing, I'm sure, fairly soon if Japan need a goal. They are much fancied in this competition. The head coach, Yamatomu Natsuki, and their guide is Iyatomi Kichiro. As for Sweden, who were up against it really against Morocco for large portions of their opening match, but got out with a 1-1 draw. They make one alteration from that side. Sofia Bostrom, number 6, comes in for Helena Tallinn, who moves to the bench. So number 1 is their captain, Moa Berg. Number 5 is Alice Bernson. Number 4 is Lisa Liu. Number 6, Sofia Bostrom. Number 9 is Victoria Carlson. And 2 options on the bench, both outfield players. Number 8 is Anna Nielsen, and number 7, Helena Tallinn. They're coached by Mark Blake, and their guide is Ellen Reid. So, can Sweden cause a huge upset in this first match on day 2, Dixie Dean? They're going to have to defend really, really well, aren't they, to cope with Japan's many threats.
Yeah, Japan looked particularly good yesterday, and to be fair, Rob, I can only see one winner in this game based on what we saw yesterday, but you never know. Sweden might change their tactics a little bit. They were a little bit defensive yesterday. You need to come out a little bit more, but we'll wait and see. Rob's got the officials.
Yes, the referee is Raminia Racedo from Argentina. The second referee, Jamia Kalbau from Germany. And they're having a chat with the captains now. Scorer Perry Gascoigne, timekeeper Mayara Crispin. And we're set to get underway in this opening match on day 2. These IBSA World Games. Goals in every match yesterday, including 5 for Japan. All the matches are being streamed around the world and on the IBSA YouTube channel. Lots of interest in this competition. It's the first competition for Sweden. They played in a Grand Prix in France earlier this year, but really it's the first big competition together as they gather in a huddle. I'm sure it'll be one to remember for them. They've got a point on the board, but you feel today is their stiffest test. Real age range in the Swedish side as well. We've got Alice Bernson at just 19 years of age, and then sub Anna Nielsen is, well, raising her bat for a half century. She's 50, so fantastic to see a good age range in the Swedish squad. It shows that no matter your age, blind football can really be for you. Victoria Carlson, the tall number 9, was a threat yesterday on day 1. She hails from Gothenburg. Japanese just getting their eye guards checked. There's the captain, Takuchi Mako. He's been skipper for 18 months. Hails from the west side of Japan, Hyogo. And we're almost set to get underway on day 2 here in Birmingham. It's a gorgeous sunny day, blue skies overhead, some white fluffy clouds. The trees are a lush green that surround the perimeter of the campus here. Yeah, branches gently swaying, but not by much. It's quite a still day compared to yesterday. There's a few spectators in the blue seats on the far sideboard, but I'm sure that will fill up over the course of the day as we saw yesterday. I think the weather should help. So it's Sweden who are going to kick off. And they're going to kick from left to right in this first half. They're in their all yellow kits with dark blue trim. So yellow shirts, yellow shorts, yellow socks. Just the odd bit of blue on their kit. As for Japan, predominantly white kit with some sky blue swirls, white shorts and white socks. And we're underway then on day 2. Sweden kicking off and manoeuvring the ball to the near sideboard straight away. Whistle goes and it's out for a Japan restart. Just overrun there slightly by Sweden. And immediately they launch an attack. Captain Mako into the Swedish defensive third. Victoria Karlsson does well, holds up Mako and tries to launch the ball downfield. She maintains possession, just stubs it into the middle third. It trickles over to the far sideboard, and there's Mako to try and get it back, but Karlsson again gets a toe poke down the line. And it's with Japan and Haraka, the number 14. And Lisa Liu switches the play from the far side to the near side. It hits the sideboard. And it's back with Mako, the captain, with the red captain's armband on her left sleeve for Japan. In the bright sunshine here in Birmingham. Here comes Mako. Mako, good dribbling. She gets to the penalty area. It's on her left foot. She checks back. Now back to goal. She's going infield. She's looking for a shot from about 8 metres out here. Lovely dribbling. Left-footed drive, and she scores. What a goal. Fabulous work. Wonderful technique from Mako. She was forced wide initially. She checked back, looked to be lining up a right-footed effort, but actually left-footed, low to Moaberg's left-hand side, into the corner. No stopping that one. Japan, you can see why they're much fancied. They score some brilliant goals, and there's another one. Japan 1, Sweden 0.
Yeah, this is a bit like yesterday, probably. They scored within a minute or two yesterday. Yeah, brilliant skill by the young lady. She was on the right-hand side, as Rob said. She turned around, come across the middle. We thought she was going to hit it with her right foot, but then turned out and a sweet left-footed shot into the corner.
Takuchi Mako, the Japanese captain, opens the scoring on day 2. Sweden, as we suspected, have got to try and withstand some really impressive attacking work, and that was an example of it straight away. Mako again, drifting from the far side to the near side and offloading to Haraka, the number 14. She cuts towards the penalty area, diagonal run. She's being held up, but she might be able to get a shot away here. It's just caught under her feet slightly. Back defending go Sweden, and actually that's really good work from Sofia Boström, who did well to get a body in the way and just hold up the momentum of that Japanese attack. But they're going to need a lot more like that as the ball's thrown out by Moaberg to Karlsson. And it's overrun by Karlsson. She can't keep it in this near side, and it's a restart to Japan. They get the ball moving quickly. It's hurled out, and Ichika, the number 16, 9 metres out, central position, passes it square. The goal scorer Mako. She retreats right to the halfway line. Goes over the centre spot and runs down the left-hand side. Left-footed shot across goal. And it's wide, but just an example there, Dixie, of spatial awareness and how she was able to go back to the centre line, locate where the centre spot was, and then just use that as a frame of reference to then move down the left.
Yeah, it was good with the play. What she was doing, she was by going back towards her own goal, she was drawing the Sweden players onto her, which created a little bit of space. And when she turned, she quickly accelerated into that space that the Swedish defenders had vacated. So, yeah, nice bit of skill. She's got a decent left foot as well, Rob.
In terms of a classification, Takuchi Mako is a B3 athlete. In the women's competition, B1, B2, B3 competitors all compete together.
Yeah, to create a level playing field for all these girls, just for you guys at home, the girls are patched with eye patches, then they wear eye shades over the top, so that, everyone's playing on a level playing field. It's very difficult to see. It's impossible to see with all the padding on and everything. So it is a level playing field for everyone. So if they're visually impaired or blind, doesn't make any difference. They're totally black tape for the games.
Here is the nimble-footed Mako dribbling the ball in the middle third, swerving from right to left and spraying the ball to the near sideboard. And it's scooped up by Ichika, who tries to wrap her foot round it to pass it to the far side, but just misses out on this occasion, and Sweden can try and build a counter-attack through Alice Berntsen. Ball lodged on the halfway line on the far side, and it's taken up by Japan. Forward they come. Ichika is challenged. Good defence by the Swedes. Mako picks up the loose ball though in the middle third, centre of the field. Kicked away by Sweden, only as far as Wakasuki Haraka, who hails from Tokyo. She passes side-footed to the far sideboard, and it's now into the Sweden third, and it's Mako. Cuts in field. Good dribbling technique again. Can she get another left-footed shot? She's in on goal and drags it wide. And in the end, quite far wide, but it was a similar angle to the goal she scored not too long ago. It remains 1-0. We've played just over 5 minutes. The ball has been hurled and hits the near sideboard, bounces into the Japanese penalty area. They look to be able to clear their lines now. There's a coming together with Berntsen and Rika. Carlson could maybe get a shot away here. It was a tight angle, and in the end the decision goes Japan's way. Timeout has been called here. Japan leading Sweden by a goal to nil. Takuchi Mako, the Japanese skipper, number 7, getting the opening goal, Dixie, and it was something we're going to have a look back on now. There's been a couple of efforts on the Swedish goal. That latest one from Mako, just dragging it wide. But that's the angle she obviously likes to create, running from right to left and then left-footed, trying to hit it back across goal. It worked for the goal, but there was a couple of efforts off target.
Yeah, a couple of wayward efforts there by the young lady, but yeah, Rod, you're correct in that she's going right to left and then cracking it with her left foot. The one she did connect with properly, she buried it into the corner. So that's something that the Swedish team are going to have a look at and try and get her onto her right foot and push her the other way, not let her onto the left foot. So we're going to restart with a corner to Sweden.
So timeout just about finished here. Still 9.5 minutes left in the first half. Doesn't look like either side are going to make a change just at the moment. But Japan do have that option off the bench, don't they, Dixie, with Kikushima Sora, who scored a hat-trick yesterday, and I was talking to the Japanese coaching staff before today, and they were here very early, warming up for today's game. Really well drilled outfit. And Kikushima saw it. They scored 30 goals in one competition recently. She's only 21. I think she was an international star at 15, so she's been a regular goal scorer for a while now. But you could really see why when you watched the goals back yesterday. Her ability on the ball was, it was head and shoulders above many others.
Yeah, it's a little bit uncanny how she does it, really. You know, there was the one goal she scored yesterday. It come across the goal and she smashed it in without taking a touch. She's got really good awareness, and yeah, what a luxury for the Japanese to have her on the bench today. Bring her on at any time and she'll bag you a hat-trick in 6 minutes. Great player.
From that corner, actually, Alice Bernson had a stab at goal. It wasn't a bad effort. It was goal-bound, but it was fairly comfortable in the end for Terabayashi Machiko in the Japanese goal. And now it's with her opposite number, Moa Berg, the Swedish keeper, who lobs this along the near side. Carlson tries to gather. Here is Sweden's number 9 inside the penalty area now. Can she get a left-footed shot here? She goes with her back to goal in the end. She was just able to get a left foot on that. She might have been able to squeeze it in, but in the end it is a Sweden corner. So good progress from the Scandinavian outfit, who have not wilted at all under that early pressure from Japan. It's going to be another corner. As I say, Alice Bernson got a good shot on goal last time out. She's there with Victoria Carlson on this near side. Bernson tries to shoot again, misses her kick, wins another corner. Raminia Racedo, the referee, shaking the ball, then dropping it down for the corner kick to be taken. Down the Sweden right, this near side. Bernson tries a shot from a very, very acute angle, but slices out of play. And Japan can launch an attack down their left-hand side. It's thrown to Tanaka Ichika. 8 metres out now, central position. Weaves back onto her left foot. She's just challenged as she was about to shoot there. Forced to retreat. Back to goal. She's been nudged away from the danger zone there, really. She's got support from Takuchi Mako, who she finds now. Mako moves in field and then nice cushion pass to the far side, and Haraka plays it back to Mako. Good passing from Japan here. Mako dips back into the middle third and is well challenged by Bernson. Bernson really tenacious work there. She closed it down and tried to sneak the ball away, and she would have been in. It is cleared upfield by Japan, but that passing move has broken down temporarily. Alice Bernson staying upfield as this ball's knocked long by Sweden, taken up by Suzuki Rika of Japan. Now Haraka, number 14, in the middle third, gets away from 2 yellow shirts. Haraka, good run this from left to right. She's in the penalty area, shoots, it's saved by the legs of Moa Berg down to her left-hand side. Good effort by Wagasuki Haraka. Scored one yesterday. Not far away there, Dixie Dean.
No, it was a great run. She sort of 20, 30 metres run in. She runs quite quickly with the ball, good close control. Drew out the Swedish defenders, and she's won a corner for her team.
Taken from the far side. Mako rolls the ball along the edge of the D. Chika, number 16, tries to get an opening for a shot. A couple of missed kicks. Still maintaining possession though. Close to the near sideboard now. Right on the line of the Swedish defensive third. Just a yard or two past. She goes back to Mako, who goes back into her own half. We've seen this already, inside the centre circle. But there's a hold up here because the Swedish player has picked up it looks like an issue with her eye mask. So it's the referee's timeout here.
Yeah, it looks like she's got a little bit of blood on coming from the mouth, I think, Rob. So they'll clean her up and get her going again, I'm sure.
It's Alice Berntsen. Lives near Stockholm. Who's requiring a bit of treatment here. She's gone to the near corner. Away to the left of your picture, and she's having a drink at the moment and just receiving a bit of treatment. As play goes on, so Sweden temporarily are a person light. So just got 3 outfield players at the moment as Japan have the ball in their own third, defensive third, and they hack it down the left-hand side. And here's Mako up against Carlson. Carlson wins that 50-50 battle and tries to get into the Japanese defensive third. She's got 2 white and blue shirts in front of her. Carlson now has 3 Japanese players for company. It's just being held up in that Japanese defensive third at the moment. Over on the far side now, Carlson again battling to try and win the ball for her side, doing really well. She's been outnumbered. She's got 4 Japanese players around her now. She's doing ever so well, Victoria Carlson, sticking to her task. Ball's still up for grabs as Carlson and Tanaka Ichika compete for the ball. Carlson there stubs it against Suzuki Rika, and Rika eventually spins the ball away over the halfway line. But that was the elongated battle that has taken the wind out of the sails, I think, of Victoria Carlson. That was a great effort. She would not be beaten there, despite the fact there were 4 players around her for a large portion of that. She kept battling, trying to win the ball for her side, and yeah, understandably, fatigue set in.
Yeah, it was a great battle. She taking on the whole Japanese team on her own. She good, strong girl, and she really dug in there and wasn't going to give the ball up. And it's nice to see the Swedes are trying to push up and they're trying to get in the faces of the Japanese. And you can see when they do that, the Japanese players are not so comfortable on the ball. Something that England didn't do yesterday against the Japanese. They gave them too much time and didn't get in their faces. But it's nice to see the Swedes giving it a go. And I think they made a substitution as well, Rob.
Yeah, Helena Tallinn has come on to the field. The number 7. Lives near Gothenburg. And straight into the action on the far side. Her path to goal is blocked, and Ichika comes forward. It's Alice Berntsen, and we saw pick up that facial injury, who's had to come off as Japan get inside the penalty area. Could be a goal here, very close to goal. Good smothering save by Moa Berg. A run towards goal from Haraka, dribbling the ball closely just as she got to the penalty area. She was held up. And the last shot actually came from inside that penalty area where the goalkeepers have to stay in. And it was deflected out, and there's been a timeout called here. But I think Sweden will be happy actually with how they've responded to going a goal down, Dixie.
Yeah, they're doing ever so well. So much better than what they played against Morocco yesterday. They're really putting their bodies on the line and sort of getting right into the Japanese faces, and which is good. That's what they've got to do, because the Japanese technically are really good, but you've got to try and disrupt their patterns of play and make it difficult for them. And fair dues to the Swedish girls are really giving it a really good effort. Very much impressed with Sweden today. As I say, yesterday they weren't so good, but they've obviously had a chat overnight and looking a lot sharper today.
Japan have made a substitution during this timeout. Tanaka Ichika who's from Hiroshima, comes off, and the number 13, Shimatani Hana from Tokyo, who scored in that 5-0 victory over England yesterday, comes on. So into the final 5 minutes of the first half. Japan leading by Takuchi Mako's goal to 0. It's going to be a Japanese corner, far side. It's down their right wing. Mako, the goal scorer's there, along with Shimatani Hana, who's just come on. 3-person wall organised by the Swedes. Only Tallinn is inside the penalty area, separate from it. The ball's knocked back and quite deep into the middle third by Japan. Relaunched by Haraka, but it's overhit and it's through for a Swedish restart. 1-0 it remains to Japan. The artificial pitch here at University of Birmingham Sports Campus. A few shadows on the pitch in this near side of because of the sideboard and also the TV gantry. Bright sunshine overhead as Japan move down the right hand side through Takuchi Mako, but she's unable to keep the ball in. But it gets a deflection off a Swedish leg, and it's a corner to Japan. Again, Moaberg, the Swedish skipper, organises a 3-person wall. And corner's taken. Lisa Liu goes out to engage and wins the ball. Does well, runs it down the far sideboard. Gets into the Japanese defensive third. It's taken off her by Haraka, and Haraka hits it long downfield, and it trickles into the penalty area, and it could be latched onto here, and it is. Hannah shoots, well blocked by Carlson. She's inside the goalkeeper's area. Carlson's on the floor, does incredibly well. Hannah has another shot and hits it wide. Well, from point blank range there, Victoria Carlson has done incredibly well to help out her goalkeeper, almost as an auxiliary goalkeeper there, Dixie Dean.
Yeah, I think the referee's not quite happy with this, because she actually played the ball when she was lying on the floor, which is you're not supposed to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if the referee doesn't give an indirect free kick from the edge of the penalty area to the Japanese for the Swedish player playing the ball whilst on the floor. And I'm pretty sure that's what she's given, which is the correct decision.
It was a long ball downfield, and Hannah, very alert to where the ball was running, latched onto it, but Carlson managed to just get back and help out her captain and prevent a certain goal. But it is, as Dixie rightly says, an indirect free kick for Japan. On the edge of the D, but it's close to the byline, so it's an acute angle at the moment. 3 Swedish players protecting that near post. Haraka is loitering inside the area as well, hoping to latch onto a loose ball, being tracked by Helena Tallinn. Shimatani Hana and Takuchi Mako are over this free kick. Guide indicates where the near post is for the players. And now the far post. Iyatomi Kiichiro, the guide for Japan in this game. 1-0 they lead. Here comes Hannah, scoops a shot, and it's going to go out for a goal kick. See what she was trying to do there. It was a scooped effort, looking for the far corner of Moa Berger's goal, but it looped harmlessly wide in the end. And Berg can roll the ball out, but only find touch at the opposite end of the ground. Although, as we saw yesterday, Dixie, because Morocco were forced to field an outfield player in goal, Moa Berg had a big hand in the goal, didn't she, that Sweden scored?
Yeah, she certainly got an assist there. But I'm led to believe today Morocco have now got their goalkeeper here, who was having visa issues. So the young lady who was playing in goal for them yesterday will be playing out on the pitch today. So they're going to be stronger when they come up against England in an hour's time. Which is good. It's good because it's more of an even contest then.
Shimatani Hannah, the sub for Japan, is in the middle third on the far side. She's got two yellow-shirted Sweden players for company, and Lisa Liu wins the ball. Helped out by Victoria Karlsson with that incredible block that we saw on the goal line almost just a few moments ago. Karlsson and Liu trying to keep possession in their defensive third, but it's taken off them by Mako, the goal scorer. Back into the middle third she goes. Central position. Drags it back with the sole of her foot, and then left-footed pass to the near side. It's Haraka had advanced, and Mako in the end passed the ball just behind her. But Mako gets the ball back inside that middle third. Runs from right to left. Again, she's looking for that left-footed effort, but well checked by Victoria Karlsson, just shadowing her run there and nudging her off the ball. Karlsson doing some more diligent defensive work. Japan, though, attack once more through Haraka. Tries to burst inside the penalty area. Held up. She's forced to go back to the near sideboard and offload it to Mako. She again goes back to the halfway line, right on the centre spot, and then scoops a right-footed pass to the far side. And Hannah switches the play again. That's great stuff from Japan. Picks out Haraka. Can't keep the ball in. Lovely bit of interplay again there from the Japanese. Switching the play. Pulling the Swedish team from right to left. And really showing their quality once more. But it doesn't end in a goal. And Sweden will be very pleased if they can go into the half-time interval just a goal down, I think. And they've only got 38 seconds left on the watch.
Yeah, they've worked really hard, the Swedish girls today, and going in 1-0 it's a good result for them at the moment. A little bit of luck in the second half. Who knows? They could get right back in this game.
Long throw from Machiko, the goalkeeper, gets all the way through to Haraka, who shoots from a tight angle, and it hits the side netting. Sweden making a late sub in this first half. Anna Nielsen, I'm not going to keep mentioning her age because it's rude, but yeah, 50, which is, I just think it's fantastic, the fact that she's a big part of this tournament. And Anna Nielsen comes on for Victoria Karlsson, who's really put herself around brilliantly in this first half and has done some great defensive work in particular. So Anna Nielsen comes on. She's from the biggest island in Sweden, Gotland. And the number 8 comes on for Mark Blake's side. Corner's taken by Argentina. They spray it to the far side, and Hannah. As Japan tried to move down the right, the far side of the pitch, but it's intercepted by Sweden, and noticeably buoyant applause there from the Swedish coaching staff. Very pleased with their side's efforts in that first half. They've restricted Japan to just the one goal and a couple of shots off target, then that one block from Victoria Karlsson. It is Takuchi Mako who got Japan up and running in this game, and that's the goal that separates the sides at the moment. And you do think that Kikushima Sora might come on later and perhaps stretch Sweden a bit more, but so far the Swedes are very much in this one. Moberg leads her side off the field, the Sweden captain. As we look back at the highlights from the first half, Takuchi Mako dragging a shot across goal, but she tried again with her left foot and hit it wide once more. Haraka had an effort on goal, so it was largely dominated by Japan. Haraka again hurdling her way through and having a shot from very close range saved by Moberg, bravely down to her left hand side. This was the fantastic block by Victoria Carlson, who retreated to deny Hannah and stop her from scoring, because I think Moberg was beaten there. It led to an indirect free kick, Carlson playing the ball whilst down on the ground. Japan moved the ball well in this first half. Haraka having a shot that went into the side netting as the first half came to a close. So 1-0 to Japan against Sweden here on day 2 in Birmingham. We're going to take a short break, but join us for the second half of these IBSA World Games. The Women's Blind Football Tournament, Japan 1, Sweden 0.
IBSA, International Blind Sports Federation, presents, with the support of the International Paralympic Committee, IBSA Anti-Doping App, the first application of its kind in the Paralympic movement, specifically designed for blind and visually impaired people. Athletes, coaches, medical staff, managers, and the public in general now have a powerful tool to stay focused on the principles of clean sport. Scrolling down the main menu, you can find all the important themes you need to know to play fair and be alert to testing procedures and necessary adaptations for athletes with visual impairments. IBSA gives top priority to anti-doping control, being the only international federation with 3 sports in the Paralympic family: goalball, football, and judo. IBSA Anti-Doping App has external links, namely to WADA, where our sport agents can always find the most updated information, especially the list of prohibited substances and methods. Glory in sport can only be achieved by the athlete's awareness of their rights and responsibilities. You can find them on the IBSA Anti-Doping App. IBSA is continuously promoting anti-doping education to all its affiliate athletes and sport agents, not only about the consequences of the use of doping and the risk of using supplements. IBSA believes that education is the major tool to fight doping in sport. Informed athletes can make better decisions. Download the app now at the usual operating system stores.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen history being made today.
Such a great team at these championships.
IBSA. Beyond sight. Feel the sport.
Five-a-side football, or blind football as it is also known, brings the beautiful game to the Paralympics. A relatively new Paralympic sport, five-a-side football first featured in the 2004 Paralympics in Athens, with just 6 nations competing. Since then, however, the sport has grown to be one of the most popular at the Games and in the world. Brazil are the reigning Paralympic champion and indeed have won all Paralympic gold medals since 2004. It's fast, technical and tense. This is your guide to five-a-side football. There are 5 players per team, 4 outfield players and a goalkeeper. The aim of the sport is to score a goal by kicking the ball into your opponent's goal, and at the end of the game, whoever scored the most wins. Players must wear eye shades to ensure that all players have the same level of vision. That is apart from the goalkeepers, who aren't required to wear eye shades and can be fully sighted. Their job is to keep the ball from going in the goal behind them. But how do the players on the field know where the ball, or indeed the goal, is? Well, the ball in blind football is specially designed to make sound whenever it moves. Also, each team has a guide behind the opposition goal to help direct them. Each player is required to shout "Voy" when going for the ball. This ensures every player has the cues they need to help build a picture of what's going on and what to do next in defence or attack. To help this, total silence is required from the crowd until a goal goes in. Voy is Spanish for go, and it was the Spanish who were credited with originally developing blind football in the 1920s. As well as the Paralympics, teams from all corners of the world can compete at World, European, Asian, African and America's Championships, as well as a World Grand Prix.
Blind football can be played by both men and women, with the historic first Women's World Championships coming up in 2023.
So what are you waiting for? Give it a try.
Welcome back to Birmingham. The sun is still shining. Japan leading by a goal to nil at half-time against Sweden in this Group A match on day 2 of the IBSA World Games. Women's blind football competition. Around about 16 degrees in Birmingham today. Feels a little bit warmer. We're going to get highs of around 22 degrees today, but for comparison, it's 30 degrees in Tokyo at the moment, so a bit milder than Japan. As Japan kick off for the second half, and they've made a change at the interval, and it's their star turn, number 10, Kikushima Sora, who is on and taking the kick off. So we'll go through the teams shortly. But the ball's in play at the moment with Haraka, the number 14. Diagonal ball from the far side to the near side and picked up by Hannah. The number 13 on as a first half sub. Drifts from the right wing to the left wing. Hannah with the shot, saved by Moa Berg, who then touches it outside her area and concedes a penalty. So she tried to claim the ball on the second attempt there. She parried it and then tried to grab the ball, but has been penalised. It was pointed out by the Japanese guide. I don't think the referee needed any assistance in spotting that one. And it's going to be a penalty which will be taken by Shimatani Hannah.
Yeah, quite right. The Swedish goalkeeper has patted the ball down and it's bounced outside the area, and she just leant out and picked it back up again. So good spot by the referee. So it's going to be our second 6-metre penalty, Rob, of the tournament. And see if it's dispatched in a similar fashion to what the Argentinians did yesterday.
Yes, it was converted yesterday in the top left-hand corner. Shimatani Hannah, 1 goal to her name already in the first match. And she had a second of her tournament and pushed Japan into a 2-0 lead early in the second half. Moa Berg, very tall goalkeeper. She stands there in the all-silver kit. She raises her hands up to the crossbar now. Shimatani Hannah. Hannah's going to take this penalty. The guide indicates where her left-hand post is. And now the right-hand post. Now the centre of the goal. Shimatani Hannah, left-footed, saved by Moa Berg, down to her left-hand side. Good shot, good save. The ball's still loose inside the Sweden penalty area. Lisa Liu, and she cleared the ball. Left-footed, she latches onto it. Then overruns it slightly, has to track back. Gets the ball under a spell. She's under pressure though from Kikushima Sora. Sora switches the play from the near side to the far side, hits the sideboard in the bright sunshine here in Birmingham, and picked up by Haraka. Haraka rolls it to her right hand side and picked up by Sora. Sora shoots! What an effort, what a save! Wow, serious power there on the right foot by Kikushima Sora, and a brilliant save by Moa Berg. Keeps her side in it, but again we're seeing that quality, we're seeing the power and the goal instinct of Kikushima Sora as we look back at the replay of Moa Berg's save from the penalty that Shimatani Hannah took. Moa Berg down to her left hand side, parried the ball away on that occasion, and has just made another fantastic save, Dixie D.
Oh, it's two great pieces of goalkeeping by the Swedish keeper there. The penalty save, she got really quickly down to the left-hand side. And just looking at the shot now, it's going high above the right-hand side, and she's got up to it and pushed it around. Yeah, two good pieces of goalkeeping there by the Swedish keeper.
Sweden trying to press forward down their right wing, and Helena Tallinn has been bundled down, and it's going to be a free kick here to Japan. To Sweden, who are preparing a double change by the look of it. The half-time change for Japan is Takuchi Mako, the captain goal scorer. She's made way for Kikushima Sora. So it's number 23, Terabayashi Machiko in goal. Number 14, Wagasuki Haraka. Number 8, Suzuki Rika. Number 16, Tanaka Ichika. And number 10, Kikushima Sora. And I'll go through the Swedish side. It's number 1, Moa Berg, but they're making a couple of changes here now. So Alice Berntsen, number 5, is about to come on, along with number 9, Victoria Carlson. Number 4 is Lisa Liu, and number 6 is Sophia Bostrom. So it's Anna Nielsen and Helena Tallien, who did start the second half, are now coming off. So on come the tall number 9, Victoria Carlson, who put in a great defensive shift in that first half. Comes from Gothenburg, Victoria Carlson, and number 5, Alice Berntsen, from near Stockholm. She's on as well. So 1-0 Japan lead, but they've had a penalty saved and another effort parried away. The referee today, Romina Recedo from Argentina. The second official, Jamia Kalbau from Germany. Sweden free kick then. To the right of centre, so it's on the far side of the pitch. Just a yard outside the penalty area. All the Japanese outfield players are assembled in a wall. Victoria Carlson's there, but it looks like Alice Berntsen's going to take this free kick. She's the number 5 over the ball at the moment. Opportunity for Sweden to equalise here then. Berntsen shoots. Hits the head of Suzuki Rika in the Japanese wall and goes over to the near sideboard. Victoria Carlson, she's used to this now. She's surrounded by 2 Japanese players trying to negotiate her way through, but Kikuchi Masora comes forward with it, and she is checked there by Lisa Liu. It was a fair challenge, was it?
Yeah, no problem at all with that one. The Swedish player got a foot on the ball, and no problems.
Japan leading Group A as things stand. If they win this game, they'll go to 6 points. Sweden will stay on 1. Morocco and England, who play next. Morocco have a point on the board. England still to register after losing 5-0 to the Japanese yesterday. Sweden proving much more stiff of a test for the much fancied Japanese. Very slick outfit. They're in the all white kit with blue wavy sky blue trim, the Japan team. They've got black numbers on the back of their shirts, and they've got white shorts and white socks. Sweden in the all yellow kit with dark blue trim. Glorious sunny day here in Birmingham for the IBSA World Games as Kikuchi Masora runs towards the penalty area. Dangerous hits and rattles the left-hand post. Well, the keeper was beaten, and the venom in that effort smashed against the post. It's probably still shaking.
It was a fantastic hit, honestly. As Rob said, the post is still shaking. It was a good job that the keeper didn't get behind it. I think it would have taken her in the net as well. She has got a heck of a shot on her. Fair dues. Great effort.
Considering how heavy the ball is, the power she generates, and the awareness of where the goal is pretty extraordinary in this tournament so far that we've seen. I say 30 goals in one recent tournament. She knows where the goal is, and she's on the ball now, and she's bearing down on goal into the penalty area, right-footed, blasts it again, and it's wide of the left-hand post this time. Kikuchi Masora not on target, but not far away. I'm just seeing a replay of the first effort. Took her off her feet. She put so much power behind the shot that hit the left-hand post. It was an absolute thunderbolt from 6 metres out. And the latest one, nice dribbling down the right-hand side. Crisp strike again, but this time wide of the left-hand post. So Sweden still in this. Just over 10 minutes left in the game. You made the good point at half-time, Dixie, that obviously goal difference could play a big part in this group.
Yeah, it could well do, like with England conceding 5 and Sweden only the 1. because we go when we come down to the knockout part of the tournament, the teams will play each other in their corresponding positions for ranking points. So it might mean that Sweden finish the group above England on goal difference. So it is important that they don't concede too many.
You just missed Sora having a shot at goal again. She's parried away by Moaberg at a near post fairly comfortably this time, but it is a corner for Japan, who lead by a goal to nil. 8 teams in the women's tournament from 4 continents, divided into 2 groups. It's Group A today. It's a record number of 228 players are playing across these championships, and it's been an electric start. Sora in the middle third switches the ball to the near sideboard, and it's picked up by Sweden's Lisa Liu. She's under pressure, so has to face her own goal, and she does well. Turns away from trouble, runs into Kikushima Sora. Play goes on. It's near sideboard. It's in the Swedish defensive third. The ball's with Japan, but they squander possession, and it's now with Victoria Karlsson. The number 9 tries to roll the ball down the far touchline, but is tackled just as she goes to pass it, and it's now with Kikushima Sora. Switches the play from the far side to the near side. The referee's whistle has gone. So we have a look at the replay of that latest effort from Kikushima Sora, who came on at half-time and has already had several efforts hitting the frame of the goal and drilling a couple of efforts wide. They've got a free kick, Japan. Sora's over it. It's midway through the defensive third of Sweden. It's a yard or 2 in from the far side. 3 yellow shirts in the Sweden wall, protecting the near post. Alice Berntsen is separate from the wall. She's on the edge of the penalty area. Referee Jimmy Kaubau, the German official, just having a chat with the Swedish wall there. As Japan prepare for this free kick, they lead by a goal to nil. A few spectators now in the blue seats, enjoying the sunshine on the far side, watching on as Japan's number 10 gets ready to take this free kick. Here she goes now onto her right foot, and unlike her, she just miscues it slightly, doesn't get the connection she was after, and it rolls across goal and out for a Swedish restart. Sweden call for a timeout. They're allowed 1 per half for each team. And yeah, there was quite a big build-up to that one, Dixie Dean, and I think we were expecting to see Moaberg scrambling to one side of her goal, but in the end, for a change, Kikushima Sora miscued that one.
Yeah, we were expecting some sort of fireworks there, Rob, but yeah, she miscued on that particular occasion. But looking at her, when she's running with the ball, she strikes it like a sighted player, which is it's very unusual. A blind player usually takes the extra touch to make sure they get a decent contact on the ball, and she doesn't. She plays it out from her feet, and as I say, strikes it like a sighted player, which is very interesting indeed. Just looking at the foul count, Rob, Sweden are on 3 fouls now. They're allowed 4. If you get any more than 4, we'll be on. Every foul then becomes an 8-metre penalty. So they're going to have to be a little bit careful in this later period of the second half.
Just looking back at some of Kikushima Sora's best bits in this second half. I've seen her hit the post. One shot screwed wide. The next one parried away by Moa Berg. I've also seen a penalty saved in this second half. So Japan pressing, but Sweden very resilient. Timeout has been completed. We're almost ready to get back underway. Busy schedule of games today in the blind football tournament, both in the women's tournament that we're seeing now, Group A, and then we move into the men's competition later on. The men of Japan taking on Italy, followed by Thailand against Turkey, England against Germany, and finishing off with Argentina against China. Lots of games to look forward to. As we're about to get back underway. Thrown forward by Moa Berg down the centre of the field and immediately retrieved by Japan, who break over the halfway line with Shimatani Hana. Goes to the near side, holds onto the sideboard, tracked by Lisa Liu. Liu runs the ball clear, gets into the middle third now, right by the centre spot. Almost bang on it now as Kikuchi Masora picks up possession and right-footed passes it out towards the near side, and there's Hana. Latches onto the loose ball. Left-footed, she goes to the far side, hits the board. Picked up by Haraka. Gets it inside the penalty area, but it's back with Sweden now, who try to clear their lines, but they can't. Hana has a scoop at it. It's loose, 8 metres out, but now cleared away by Lisa Liu. And again, more good defensive work there from Sweden. There's a bit of a coming together there between Hana and Alice Berntsen. The referee just making sure both players are okay. And they look to be fine, so play will restart. On this near side, the shadow of the sideboard just encroaching onto the pitch here in Birmingham. This artificial surface. Balls dropped now and competed between Berntsen and Hana. Taken away by Sora. Switches it very quickly again over to the far side. And Hana. Hana shoots left-footed, it's wide. Looking to sneak it inside that near post. But Moa Berg wasn't forced into any action there. She now throws the ball out for this Sweden restart. She was looking for Victoria Karlsson there. Karlsson couldn't quite trap it, so it's run clear by Sora. She runs from left to right, and she runs out of play. And again, good defensive work by Lisa Liu. Just shadowing her, shepherding the dangerous number 10 out of play, and it's a Sweden ball.
Yeah, great bit of play by the Swedish player there. She jockeyed her out and pushed her out wide down the right-hand side, and yeah, just made it impossible for the Japanese player to get a shot on target. So, yeah, good bit of play by the Swedish defence.
And at the other end there, Victoria Karlsson very nearly found Alice Berntsen inside the penalty area, and she would have had a shot on goal. But it was well defended by Japan, who now hack it downfield all the way through to the defence of Sweden, where Sofia Boström collects, but then loses possession to Hana. Just inside the Sweden defensive third, right on the far side of the pitch. Lisa Liu steps in. She's had an excellent second half. But now it's Kikuchi Masora. She dribbles. And number 10 runs into a bit of trouble, so has to steady herself. And on this near side ball, shoots! Whoa! What a great save, tipped over. But talk about that shot, Dixie Dean. She was close to the near sideboard. It is a difficult angle, quite far out. We're talking with that angle, you're thinking maybe about 10, 12 metres there. And she's got the shot on target, again with serious power. And I think if we look at the replay, I'm sure that angle will tell us, but it looked to be going in.
Yeah, I think it was going in the top corner. What intrigues me, there's hardly any backlift, Rob. You know, she shoots so quickly, and obviously the keepers can't get set. Makes it obviously very difficult for the keepers, but yeah, great shot.
Japan have the corner. They attempt to get the ball to Sora, who does pick up possession, but she's deep in the middle third. She passes across to the near side. Haraka picks up possession. Haraka into the penalty area, just going to squirm away from her and go out for Sweden ball. They'll restart here. And we can see another angle of the effort from Sora. Again, wonderful technique. But Sweden still in this, just trailing by a goal to nil. They take this corner. Sora again, almost on halfway, now has it on the far side. She'll pass it right-footed on the side of her boot to Haraka. Breaks into the Sweden defensive third, held up by Victoria Karlsson. More good defensive work from Karlsson. The ball's contested on this near side. Karlsson stabs it away, but only as far as Sora. She was near the 8-metre spot there. She drags it back, right-footed effort, on goal, saved by Moa Berg. The ball's still live inside the penalty area. Karlsson latches onto it and will try and clear her lines, but she miscues, and there's Sora, right-footed effort, slices it across goal. Out for a Sweden restart. Another shot on target, another save. Fairly comfortable for Moa Berg on that occasion, but Sora continues to impress.
Yeah, excellent play by her again. She's just looking at the replay again now. She's coming across into the middle. Yeah, it was a good shot. It's down nice and low. Fairly easy for the keeper, but you know, it's on target. And as we said yesterday, if you don't shoot, you don't score. And she doesn't hold back with her shooting, that's for sure.
Yeah, great balance. She's classified as B3. As Dixie rightly pointed out, it's a level playing field with all the players wearing the regulation masks, and it is Sora at the moment on this near side who's coming off. So looks like Kikushima Sora being rested. We saw her come off quite early after scoring a hat-trick against England yesterday. Not on the score sheet today, but she's been withdrawn. At the moment, no one's come on for her. Sweden tried to take advantage of the numerical advantage they have at the moment. Victoria Karlsson down their right wing, held up by Wagasuki Haraka, the number 14 for Japan. Karlsson and Haraka up against each other on the far sideboard. Karlsson gets into the area, wins a corner.
Substitution Japan.
Japan are now able to make that change, so Sora goes off. Tanaka Ichika comes on. She started the game. The number 16 from Hiroshima. So up to the full complement of players now, Japan. One goalkeeper, 4 outfield players in this futsal format. And it's a timeout called. A chance to take another breather with just under 5 minutes left of this game. Japan leading by Takuchi Mako's goal to 0, and they have had all the best chances, all the efforts really on goal. But Sweden have been well drilled, well organised, And they've worked so hard, Dixie, just to protect that. Well, like you say, the goal difference that could well be crucial come the end of the group stage.
Yeah, yes, indeed. But more importantly in that, Rob, they're still in the game. You know, there's 5 minutes to go. They get a lucky break. They could come away with a point. They're defending really, really well. As we said earlier in the game, they're getting right into the faces of the Japanese players and just unsettling them and just roughing them up a little bit, within the laws of the game, but just roughing them up a little bit and letting them know they're not going to be rolled over. And doing brilliantly well. And they must be glad to see the back of the number 10.
Yeah. Japan have got a day off tomorrow, as have Sweden, before Japan round off their group stage game on the 17th of August. It's the first game of the day when they take on Morocco. Sweden face England in their final group game. Reminder that the final of this competition is Monday the 21st of August. And also be the third and fourth placed game on that day as well. Semi-finals taking place on Sunday. And we are back underway in this second half. Japan leading by a goal to nil, and with the ball as Shimatani Hana hooks the ball across to Ichika. Ichika goes back towards Hana. Hana can't quite apply the finishing touch, but lovely bit of combination work between Hana and Ichika there, switching the play from right to left. And the diagonal ball very nearly back towards Hana, who was close to goal, had continued her run, but couldn't quite have the touch. But it's Japan who are pressing once more with Haraka. Crosses the halfway line on the far side, gets away from Carlson. Haraka bearing down on the penalty area now, held up by Lisa Liu, does well. And the ball's loose at the moment. Haraka and Liu. Liu gets to it. Can't. I'm going to say she can't escape the attentions of Haraka, but she does well there actually. She just gets the ball into the middle third. It's right on this near side ball with Alice Berntsen. And Berntsen does get the ball. Plays it over towards the far side, but it's a Japanese player who gets the first touch to it, and Haraka, and it's now over the halfway line for Japan. Ichika has to check back, and Victoria Carlson does more. Good tackling there on the halfway line. Carlson engages with Haraka, but Haraka down the left wing, shoots, and it's wide of the near post. Low effort. Moerberg not forced into a save. Just under 3 minutes left. Sweden still in this. Can they get a late equaliser? You can imagine the scenes, can't you, if they do, to being under the cosh for so much of this game. Haraka with a cross shot there from the left-hand side, which rolls out of play, and it's restarted by Sweden. Long throw downfield, picked up by Berntsen. Berntsen just opened up her body there, didn't shoot, hit it across to the far sideboard. The ball's still in play. Haraka has it, she rolls it down the far sideboard. It's rolling all the way along. It's going to stay in play though. It's in the Swedish defensive third. Carlson tracks it, does well. Stubs it into the middle third, and Japan have to start this attack again through Haraka. Haraka looks for a diagonal pass, and it evades Lisa Liu but goes out for a Swedish restart. Taken by the captain. Can't find a yellow shirt upfield. And the ball's deep in Japanese territory with Haraka against Berntsen. Berntsen, I think, got the final touch there. It's a restart for Japan. Bowled out by Machiko, who's had a very quiet game in the Japanese goal. 90 seconds left on the clock then. Can Sweden get something, or can Japan press home their advantage? They've hit the frame of the goal. They've had a penalty saved. They lead by a goal to 0. But Sweden not beaten yet. The ball's in the middle third. Hit against the near sideboard now. And picked up by Shimatani Hana. Central position. Pokes it out to the far side. And Hannah gets to the 8-metre spot. Hannah twists back. Hannah, chance of a shot here. Good defensive work again from Sweden. They've got bodies back. Shimatani Hannah held up inside the penalty area. Excellent work by Sofia Boström. Just 25 seconds remaining. Sweden need to get the ball at the other end of the field if they're to get a late equaliser. As it is, it's with Japan in the middle third. Played forward into the penalty area. Boström there again. As Achika goes to ground. But that's it. The final klaxon goes, and Japan do take the win. They had to work incredibly hard for it. It wasn't the 5-0 trouncing that we saw them dish out to England yesterday. The Swedes really acquitted themselves well, kept it to 1-0. But it is Japan who pick up maximum points from their first 2 games. They go to 6 points at the top of Group A. Sweden stay on 1, along with Morocco. And it's Morocco who play England up next. But Dixie Dean alongside me, a former England goalkeeper. That was an enjoyable watch, that, because it was attack against defence for a lot of it. And Japan played their ace in the pack, if you like, with Kikuchi Misora coming on at half-time. But Sweden, which we didn't see too much of yesterday, they had a bit of an attacking threat, but it was more the fact that their organisation was impressive.
Yeah, they done really well today, the Swedish girls. Defensively, very, very strong. Got in their faces of the Japanese players, so it was a creditable performance by the Swedish players, and perhaps a slight moral victory for them. I expect they looked at the results yesterday and thought, well, this is going to be a tough game, but they come out of it with a lot of credit and 1 or 2 opportunities, but it would be unjust, really, Rob, if Sweden had scored, really, because Japan were very much the stronger team, and they move on to 6 points, and I would imagine that qualifies them for the semi-final already.
The players shake hands on this warm, sunny morning in Birmingham. Victorious Japanese side pick up 3 more points. They're going to be very difficult to stop in this tournament. Say the favourite of the 8 teams. Argentina look very strong as well, but Japan cruising into the next stage. 6 points from 2 games. Sweden posing for a team photo in their goal at the moment, whilst Japan enjoy the victory. They've got a day off tomorrow before rounding off their group with their match against Morocco. Sweden close out their group stage with a match against England, and again have a day off tomorrow. But it's a packed schedule today, Dixie, and looking forward to the next one, aren't we?
Yes, lots of games today. We got another female game after this one. She's just finished, and then we move into the men's tournament, opening up with Japan and Italy at 12:30, followed by Thailand, Turkey at 14:30, and then England versus Germany at 16:30, and rounding off the day with Argentina versus China, which will be 1 game and a half, at 18:30.
All those times GMT, of course, broadcasting live from Birmingham in the heart of the West Midlands, and a nice sunny summer's day to enjoy today. So we hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Takuchi Mako with the winning goal for Japan. They have 6 points. They're difficult to stop. The two sets of players posing for a joint photo. Another game played in a great spirit. It's finished here in Birmingham. Japan 1, Sweden 0. We'll see you soon.